Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of the visa process video. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, I have added the link here in the description box below and I recommend you to watch that before watching this one. So in this video, I'm going to be covering everything from how to apply for your visa, what charges you need to incur, how the visa day looks like, the BRP card, the SIM card, and also going to be telling you why I had to reschedule my flight because there was a big mess up in my visa. And also going to share a story where my friend had to give multiple interviews and had a very long, tedious process on getting the visa. So make sure you watch this video until the end. And if you find this helpful, please do like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, let's do this. Let us see how to apply for your UK student visa. So the first thing you have to do is just type that on Google and go on the second link where you can see the apply kind of thing. Okay, so when you go there, you will be landed on this page and just go down to apply and just say start now. Okay, so it will ask you some generic questions. Read them and respond them. Do you have a EU passport? No, you do not. And are you applying for a student visa? Yes, you are. Then which country you're from? Just type in India or wherever you're from, like Pakistan or Bangladesh or whatever. And then yes, I have identified the country where I want to provide my biometrics. So about what biometrics are, I've mentioned that in the part 1 video. Do check that out. How we use your data. Okay, you're going to use it against us. Start new application. So this is where you have to put your email ID, email address and create password. So honestly, like, I'm not gonna lie, this entire process, like start application, documents, declaration, pay and further action, takes like about 30 to 40 minutes to just fill. Okay, so I'm not gonna do the entire thing, but on the other hand, I have this document with me. So as you can see, like, this is the first page with email address and password, and this is the very page. So basically this document guides you through everything which you need to do during your application. So I am going to do a trade-off. So all you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video, click a screenshot of this and DM me the screenshot on devyani.24 on Instagram, and I will share this document with you. This is of 85 pages, as you can see here. I'm just going to scroll, like, see, 85 pages, and it has everything. So I'm just going to take you through the first few pages, but after that, if you want anything, definitely do DM me there and I'm going to send it to you. Okay, so let's just get through this. So when you start with your application, then you have to confirm your email ID, and then you have to provide some details like your phone number, because they might reach out to you for if they have any issues or any problem with the application. Then they ask you, okay, do you want to be contacted by telephone, call, text or anything like that. And this is a very important one. So do you remember in the part 1 I talked a lot about your CAS number, which is the most important number, and without this number you cannot go ahead with the application. So you have to copy paste your CAS number here. Do not try to type it because there might be some error. So this number is so important. So you make sure that you copy paste it, and then you can just save and continue with your application. So then you have to put in all of your names, then your gender, then you talk about where is your address, so where have you stayed for this while, and then you have to ask, like, do you own it, do you rent it, and all of those details. So like, even if I like keep scrolling, I'm on page number like 21 right now. I'm scrolling, and still, like, can you believe it, I'm still on application. Like, literally it is so long, and you have to like say a lot of things like, oh, have you done these things, like, have you done drugs, have you whatever, like a lot of random questions they ask you. But still I'm on application. Just scroll. And okay, yeah, so this is an important part. I'm going to take you through this one. So then again, you're still at application. Can you believe it? This is like page number what? This is page number like 65. So I'll just go down and put in those details. Okay, so now we go to documents, right? So let us look at what documents you need. So this tells you what mandatory documents you need while coming for the visa appointment, right? So you need your passport, your final award letter. So that is basically so if you have a scholarship, so this is not applicable for us, then some other documents if you need. So and then you have to also visit the VFS Global, which I'm going to talk about later, and the TB test results. Again, I've spoken about this in part 1. So then coming to the declaration, you just simply click this, and this is a very small part. And then yeah, you're over 18 and whatever things you need to put in, you're done. And then you pay the IHS charge, which is the immigration health surcharge. So in this document, you have to make two payments. One is the IHS charge and one is the visa payment. So as you can see here, the IHS charge depends on every year, but for my year it was 75,135 rupees 0.40 paisa. So that you have to pay for IHS. And the second payment you have to do is for the visa itself. So as you can see here, I have chosen the standard option, which is for 37,088 rupees. But depending on where your application is at, you can take like priority visa or super priority visa. So priority visa is 20,000 more than that. Super priority is like 1 lakh more than that. So this is the payment you have to make while you do your visa application. So it is as easy as it gets. You just have to go and pay on the portal, pay online, and you just immediately get a mail and the process goes further. So there is no problem in that. So yeah, you have paid all of the things. So application submitted successfully and everything. And so okay, so this page tells you what exactly you need to carry to your visa appointment. So it tells you like download the checklist. So they have like a proper checklist for you, then the TB test, and the last part takes you to the VFS portal. So VFS is where you can book your appointment, like whatever date is convenient for you, which city and all of that. So when you just click on that and go to provide biometrics, it guides you to the VFS portal. So it just happens one after the other. So on the VFS website, you can choose where you want your location as. So I decided to go to Pune because I am from Pune, and I decided on the standard visa. But don't worry, if you have booked the standard visa before, you can definitely change it to priority or super priority later, and even on the day of the appointment itself. So do not worry about that. So I selected the very first slot, which was 8:15. And that is damn convenient because you are the first one to be there, and the process is very fast because of that. So coming to services, so there are a lot of services you can attach to this. So I personally went for the bronze premium package, which has everything. So they have like automated callback, which is a scam. They have the courier service included, everything for 1,400, which is very convenient because otherwise the courier service itself is just 750. So this has a couple other things as well. So I highly recommend that, but there's a big scam. So they have, if you can, like if you don't want to take the bronze package, you can just go for the courier services and document scanning service, because document scanning service is very important because they know, okay, I have talked about it later, so just go through that. But the courier service is also very important. But the SMS service is literally a scam because they never send you messages, so don't worry about that. But that's how, and that's everything I chose basically. So after understanding how the visa application process and what packs you should take, let us see how the day of the visa looks like. So I had my appointment at in the very morning. I think the first appointment at around 8:30, and I reached VFS Global office, the Pune one, at 7:30ish. So I really recommend you to take the very first appointment because the process is faster, because there are less people and then the day is just beginning, and you just literally everything was like done in a couple of hours, which was very convenient. So when you get there, you have to carry all of the documents I mentioned before. But along with that, like make sure you do not carry your laptop or your iPad or something like that, because they're going to take it away and keep it in a locker, and then you will have to pay more to like secure it in a safe space. So when you enter the office, the security checks your appointment details, your passport, and then you're guided inside. And when you go inside, they give you a Libara SIM card and a coupon number. So Libara is like Idea or Vodafone in UK, which is very convenient because when you get there, you will already have a SIM card number and you can call internationally, and which is like damn convenient. But in the long term, I really don't recommend using Libara because it's like wasting money. Instead, use Voxy, which has endless social media and stuff like that. So if you want like a $60 Amazon gift card, make sure you register to the link I've provided in the description box below. Or if you want to see why Voxy is better than Libara, check out this video. It has everything in detail. Anyway, so you take your SIM card, your coupon number. I also ask you to provide your address to ship your passport to after you get the visa. So you have two options. You can either ship your passport at home, or either you can go to VFS Global office to collect it yourself. But what I've seen while my application process was happening and with my friends and all, do not choose the option of going to VFS and collecting it, because definitely the process is much slower. I don't know why, but everybody who opted to get the passport at home, they got it like way earlier than that. So make sure you remember that. So you just have to provide your passport details and things like that. and you just go and sit where in the waiting area. So after your coupon number is called, you go ahead and you scan all of your documents. I mean, they scan it for you. So you again have to pay a bit extra to get it scanned, but make sure you do it in the VFS Global office, because then there should not be any problem. They do it in the correct way. But make sure that if you have any certificates or anything laminated, make sure that beforehand you take like a colored printout of that. Because like for example, the Mumbai certificate, degree certificate is larger than the A4 size format. So they don't have the equipment of like scanning a big document. So then they ask you to go out and then scan everything and come again. And it's like just wasting your time. So make sure like anything which is not like A4 size, you have a printout of that, and everything which has a lamination, you have a printout of that already. So that is convenient for them. Then after I submitted all of my documents, I was guided to the biometric room where I had to scan all of my 4 fingers and like my thumb finger, and then they click a photo of me, and that's pretty much it. And literally it was super fast, like just photos, like the scanning photos and done. Then like it was super fast and I was very happy with the process. So with my experience, I'm going to share 2 things, which is the SMS service scam and the tracking visa status. So basically, after you opt to get your passport at home, you can opt for a SMS service to get like all live updates, because you're very like so anxious about where your passport is and when you're going to get it. Most people opt for that, the SMS service and the tracking service. But it did not work for anyone. Like literally, nobody got a message from VFS of what is happening. Like suddenly they just got their visa at home, and I don't recommend going and paying extra for that. So tracking service as well, they say, okay, you can they give you a tracking number, and then they ask you to like log into FedEx, but FedEx also does not like, update anything. So I think these 2 services were a waste for me, but if you're still very keen, like go ahead with it. But I think it's very useless. So what happened with my visa was, I booked my flight for the 1st of September. And while doing my application process, which I did with my counselor, she told me, okay, your course is starting on the 26th of September. You should put like, okay, you're entering the country 10 days before that, which is 16th of September. So basically what happened was that before I got my visa, I booked the flight. So I was supposed to enter the country on the 1st of September. And my course starts on the 26th of September. And on the visa documentation, as advised by my counselor, I put in that I will be entering the country on the 16th of September. So what happened was, when my visa came in, the date of arrival on the visa was 9th September. So because I did not put the proper date of when I would be entering the country, I had to reschedule my flight. And which was very expensive to change the flight at last moment. Oh my god, what a headache. So make sure you put the right date. Make sure you just put in like at least 15, 20, even 30 days before the date of your arrival. So if your course is starting on the 26th of September, you can put in that, okay, you are entering the country on the 29th of August. Nobody's going to recheck that. It's just that just to be on the safe side. So this another thing which happens is when you get your offer letter late, or if you like delay with all of the process, if you delay your TV process, your visa process also delays a lot, and a lot of people had to pay like 25,000-30,000 extra for priority visa or super priority visa, and it becomes so stressful. This is unnecessary money. So make sure that you are really well planned and you have everything in place so that you don't spend money unnecessarily. So what happened to one of my friend was, she wanted to save up a bit of money, and she had a problem. Like she applied for a visa a bit late, and she was like, oh my god, I don't want to pay extra for priority visa. And then she did not, and her flight was, I think, on the 2nd of September, and until the 29th of August or 30th of August or whatever the last date, she did not receive her visa. So then she had to reschedule her flight because her visa was not there, and on the 1st of September she got her visa from the VFS office. And then she was in a blunder, like, okay, I spent extra on the flight and then I got my visa later, which was really very chaotic. And that so make sure like all these things do not happen. So I'm going to be sharing a story which my friend went through. So these are his words on the laptop. I'm just going to be narrating them, and some of you might go through this, so it is very difficult, but it's okay. There are people who go through that and still they are in the UK studying. So what happened was, he graduated in 2019 and he had a gap year of at least 2 years, and then he did his master's in finance at Middlesex University. So after he applied sometime in June, which is quite late for an application, but he submitted all of his documents and he had his first interview. Like, have you submitted your conditional offer? Like just a very generic thing, which was chill. Then they asked him to give you another interview. This is all happening with the UK government, like not just the VFS office, but it's called, I think, ISAT, the International Students Advice or something like that. So basically, he had a second interview. So in the second interview, he had 5 questions and he had to research on all of these questions and write an essay on it. So the questions include: why is he choosing UK for his master's? What outcome he wants from the course? Then the package he wants, like after he graduates, and what he wants to gain for it. How would you pay for expenses? And all of this. And he had to write an essay about it. So after that, that was approved. And then there was another interview, the third, with UKVI. So that is like the main government kind of thing, which was way more detailed. So, so in the first interview, they asked him like, okay, why Middlesex University? And you need to do like really good research. You can't be like, okay, the ranking is better. So what? So is the ranking everything for you? So you can't just say like, you really need to research about the modules they are choosing. What experience will you gain? So he was like, okay, this has like academic credentials like ACCA and CFA certified university and things like that. So he told me, do not mention like sports or fun or party, because they think that you are here to like just chill and not study. So just be very academic focused. So yeah, so everything. And the third interview was very detailed. It was a lot of grilling, and a lot of questions. So if you want to know everything much more in detail, if you are in the situation, I'm adding his link in the description box below. You can definitely reach out to him on LinkedIn and ask your further questions. So what happened was, they also asked him questions in the third interview, like why not Indian universities? Why are you choosing UK universities over anything else? And so it has to be your own answer. And then finally the ISAT gave him an unconditional offer letter. So without like this process was not even before getting an unconditional offer, which was a very, very lengthy and a very stressful process. And people do go through that. So if you're taking like a gap year, or if you're like, you need to justify all of your actions, because they want to admit students who are really worthy. And like all of finance, especially finance, marketing, are very competitive courses. So you need to make sure that everything you do is for a reason and you're very passionate about it. So he told me to advise students that before the interview, they asked him like really crazy questions like, okay, when you land in the UK, how are you going to get to your accommodation? What bus number would you take? Like even like staying in London for like at least 8-9 months, I'm not sure like which bus goes where. But they want to know like the exact address of the university, which bus you might take, like really absurd questions. But you need to be prepared. Like this is what it is and you have to be prepared. So they also asked him like, how are you going to travel from the airport to the accommodation? Then what is your accommodation route? Then you cannot and he also said that you cannot mention that you're going to go by cab or something like that. He said that you should know the bus number and which TFL tube you're going to take and things like that. Oh my god, it's really complicated, but it is what it is. So again, if you have any other further question, if you're in this very situation, you can definitely DM him on LinkedIn and he can answer all of those questions for you. So the final advice I would like to give you guys is the visa process only starts 3 months prior to your course date. So even if you have like a conditional offer right now, they cannot issue a CAS number. Even if they issue a CAS number, you cannot apply for your visa appointment at least 3 months prior. It definitely can happen. Like if you're in a final year of your study, you don't get a degree certificate, you need to be prepared financially and mentally that you will have to pay for a priority visa, because otherwise, yeah, like it should not be a surprise for you, because a lot of people I know were like, oh my god, I'm not getting my final degree certificate, I'm not getting my IELTS marks, I'm not getting this, that, the loan approved, and the loan is another very complicated process. So all of that, you need to be prepared. And I know even a friend who paid extra priority, which was like about 1 lakh rupees extra for just getting the visa in one day. So this is how crazy it can get. It is a very stressful time, but everybody goes through this. So make sure to keep your calm and everything is going to fall in place. So there are some universities, like how I mentioned before, King's gives me a pre-CAS and then they provide me a CAS. For some universities, like I guess Leeds, you have to request for a CAS number and the process is much more faster. So everything, just make sure everything you have all the documents in place. Confirm a lot with your friends and family and just make sure that everything is perfect, because like small mistakes might cost you a lot of time or a lot of money and you do not want to do that. So the rejection rate is quite less in the UK. Don't worry. If you have everything right, I think still it's just like 3.78%, which I saw online. But other than that, it's all chill. And finally, after you get your visa, when you land in the UK, the UKVI office sends you a BRP card, which is a biometric card, which is basically the Aadhaar card, or what is the most important card. You have to protect it like your baby. And so basically, it's like, even if you leave the country, while coming back, you would need your BRP. So like, it's the most important document for you. And yeah, so this was the entire visa process. Again, if you have any further questions, do feel free to comment it down below. I'll be more than happy to answer everything in detail. And yeah, I hope this was helpful. Good luck for your visa journey, and see you in UK soon.